Hey there, welcome to the Breakthrough Creative Show. I'm your host, John McDavitt. This is the place where we talk about the business of art and the art of business. Now, tell me if you don't think this would be cool. If you went to your online banking account and when you opened it up, you saw that your balance was actually $200 higher than what you expected it to be. And then, as you're looking at it, it jumps another $50, and then another $20, and then $180. And all of a sudden you're like, whoa, this is crazy. What's this from? And then you remember, oh, wait, I have a YouTube channel. And on that YouTube channel, I have my brand. I have a show where I am providing content to help people. And because I have so many followers, I'm able to monetize that show. I am able to put commercials on the show and make some money from that. And then I'm able to put affiliate links into the content and actually into the show so that I can direct people to buy product that I think is really good and is going to be beneficial to them. And because I do that, the provider of those products gives me a cut of what it is the people are purchasing. I would love that. I would love that. Some people call that passive income. Okay. And my guest today is Steve Rogers. He has a YouTube channel called Steve Rogers Outdoors, and he is going to tell us about his journey into monetizing his YouTube channel. So here's Steve.
Okay. Hi, John. Thank you for having me on today. It's very exciting. We're looking forward to this all week. So basically what I do, my business is Steve Rogers Outdoors, and then I have several different branches of businesses under that. I have a video production business, I have a coffee company, a YouTube channel, and then a blog. And I'm proud to say that I can say my YouTube channel is a business because it is now generating me income. So that has been quite a road, but I'm very proud of the fact of how far I've gotten with it, and that I know on the 22nd or whatever of every month, I'm getting a deposit from Google. So I can actually say that's a business now. Um, and really, this whole shutdown that we went through made me rethink and refocus on my businesses and how I approach it and what I do. And I'm in the midst of trying to make things automated where hopefully down the road, when we have different cycles within our economy, that it's not as um, devastating to the creative community as this current, pandemic has been. So that's kind of what I'm in the midst of.
Wow, that's amazing. There's a whole lot in what you just said.
Right.
So let's do this. Let's go pre today, pre-pandemic.
hmm
What what's your story? Like how did you get into Steve Rogers Outdoors? What led you to that?
Okay, excellent question. So, great question. So, I'll shoot back 20 plus years. I was a broadcast communications major, started a television production company my junior year in college with my roommate, my business partner at the time, and started off doing weddings, legal depositions, that type of stuff, but it was bringing us income. Already in college, we rented an apartment and made the second bedroom a full production studio. I had all our equipment in there, kept our gear in there. So that's where it started. And after graduation, we kept it going. We were doing a lot of work at that point in time for a foundation out of Chicago, all kinds of entrepreneurship stuff, artist stuff for this foundation, a video series, so much to the point where I put all my eggs in one basket unintentionally. They were providing us with so much work. My other clients were kind of falling off to the side. Well, then, of course, the inevitable phone call comes, funding's done, and boom, like that. Well, coincidentally, we had just gotten Dish Network, the start of the satellite TV craze, right? And I was sitting in my lazy boy because I had nothing to do because I just lost all my work. And I was flipping through, and the Outdoor Channel came on, and which was relatively new at that point in time. This is about 2099, 2000. And there was a fishing show on there. And I'm thinking, I can do that. So we literally took our gear, shot a pilot, first episode, sent it to the Outdoor Channel. About 2 weeks later, they called and said, love it, we'll take it. And then I was nationally broadcast for 5 years. So that was how that whole production and bass fishing kind of melded together. We had a 5-year run on the Outdoor Channel, which was really good. Became a sales rep in the outdoors industry for a couple years through my contacts. Between television and that, I was gone about 200 nights a year. So I was missing the family big time. So in 2007, I stopped all of that outdoors stuff, put it in the back burner, went back to school, got my teaching certificate, taught for 10 years, fifth grade elementary, was very rewarding. I learned a lot about communicating with people. And then at the end of the 2019 school year, I said, you know what? The boys are getting off out of the house. I want to get back into the outdoors and video and television production. So I started my LLC in January of 2019, left teaching at the end of that year. And then very quickly, I'm so blessed with this because I never skipped a beat. I never skipped a beat with my paycheck. The teaching paycheck stopped. I had enough production work where that just kind of kept going. Lots of different clients, whether they were marine dealerships or whatever, creating social content that these, customers could share. And then the pandemic hit. And then in a 48-hour window, I lost every one of my clients in 48 hours. They emailed me or called me, scared, worried about they're trying to cut expenses, right? And whoosh. So I went from a nice, comfortable monthly income to zero in 48 hours, which was a little bit terrifying. And then at that point, I decided I need to retool things. And then I started to focus on my really creating content for my own social channels. I had been doing it for the last year, but now I started to do it with a huge emphasis. And during that time is when I've started to see some money now start to slowly trickle in from these social channels. And the other work, production work, video production work, content creation, I've got some stuff out there on the horizon that looks like it's going to come through to help tide me over a bit, but nothing is hit for certain yet. But that's kind of how I got to where I am right now.
Wow, that's again, there's a lot in there. So, I've been a little bit privy to how you've been growing your business,
Mm-hmm.
and I think it's pretty remarkable because I would say it is what a lot of people would like to do with their business in regard to scaling.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it would be really interesting to maybe take a deeper dive into that. So I know that you started a YouTube channel that you say is now monetized,
Yes.
and there's probably how many people are alive on this planet? 8
It's
billion,
like,
10
yeah,
billion?
yeah, 7, 8 billion, something like that. Yeah.
Everybody would like to be able to do what you did. So, so what is the insight into how you you started that
Yeah.
journey? How did you do
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. I've got a couple real key things that I think people could find useful that will help them out. First and foremost is a lot of people will approach it. Well, what would be a niche or niche? I'm not sure whichever way you say it. So
Nike.
that works for me. So a lot of people will say, what is some content or a niche that will get a ton of traffic and I can make this happen really, really quickly? But the key is you've got to pick something that you're passionate about. Because if you're not passionate about it, you're not going to be able to maintain the consistency it takes for this to happen. So I've always been passionate about bass fishing. So it was natural. And since I did a bass fishing show for 5 years nationally, it was natural. That was the area that I focused on. So that's the very first thing. Whatever you find yourself enjoying, that is what you've got to focus your content on. Because if when you're in the middle of what I call the cricket stage, where it's like, whoo, 2 people saw it this week, if you're not enjoying creating the content, you're not going to have any reason to continue because it is a marathon. It is not a sprint. It is not a get rich quick deal. It's not going to happen, overnight. We always hear about the success stories of the 9-year-old that picked up a guitar and has got 60 million subscribers in 2 weeks. those things are so rare that, that's not a sustainable plan. So first and foremost, find something that you love, that you're excited about. And that by far is the biggest, biggest key to the sustainability of it. So that'd be number one. The second thing that I would say is you've got to be consistent. And by consistency, maybe that's one video a week. I'm at 3 videos a week. When I went to 3 a week, I really started to see some measurable growth. But whatever works for your schedule, lifestyle, the demands that you have on your time, once a week is better than cranking out 5 videos and then not doing anything for 6 weeks. The goal of all these social platforms is to keep people on their social platforms forever and never leave. So, YouTube wants to see activity. They want to see you posting videos. So that's the second thing, is be consistent with whatever you do, no matter how many times a week that is. And like, I have a very rigid schedule. Like, Central Standard Time, noon on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays are where my videos go live, when they go public. And I don't skip that, and that goes 52 weeks a year. So, I may batch shoot stuff and do 9 or 10 and get them all laid out. And so if I go on vacation or the holidays or whatnot, I have that all ready to go. But the consistency has definitely been key. And then something that is probably, you hear some people, experts in the industry, talk about it, but you still see a lot of new channels doing this incorrectly, is you need to think about discoverability. So if you have like an upside down triangle, okay, and most people in the niche that they're passionate about, they're down in here in the bottom area, really talking high level information about whether it's gardening, lawn care, bass fishing, art, whatever it might be, down in here. That's very little traffic. People are not often searching very, very detailed subject matter. Most of traffic comes from the top part of this triangle, where it's very basic questions. How do I get rid of moles from my yard? How do I make my grass thick? Or those types of things. How do I eat healthy? So these very, very broad search terms, people go to Google, they go to YouTube, and that's what they type in. They don't type in there, Steve Rogers bass fishing. Nobody types that, but they do type in how to fish a jig in the summertime. So that is my goal, is the titles that I create, the content that I create, I'm trying to answer very specific user intended questions. And that is how you start to get that organic traffic to your site. It doesn't happen overnight. But for example, I had a video just very simply, is like how to load a boat. If you've ever spent much time at the boat ramp, it's one of the most frustrating experiences a person can have, as pontoons are sliding off to the side, boats are crooked. It's just a disaster. So I put a video out there, is how to load a boat. And it's only like 3 minutes, one of the shortest ones I've ever done. And I loaded it last July. It was a graveyard. I mean, nothing until this April. And then it has gone gangbusters. There's between 50 and 100 views every single day on this thing. The trend line is just shooting way up. It's into the thousands of views, and it's making me decent money. But it took over 8 months for the algorithm within YouTube and Google to pick up on that. And now it is making me money as we're sitting here right now, just working for me 24/7. But it took 8 months for it to happen. So the other thing is, probably the fourth thing, is you have to have patience. You have to let the process work. And most young channels, or people when they're starting new channels, whether it's Instagram, YouTube, a blog, whatever it is, they are obsessed. And I was the same way, obsessed with the analytics. Refresh, 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 refresh. Did I get another subscriber? Did another person watch? That is a rabbit hole you do not want to go down. It can just, like, I would have days where I was so not nice to my family because I was upset about something on analytics. I mean, how dumb is that? it's just ridiculous. But as humans in this social media, that dopamine rush of somebody liked you or didn't like you, it's a huge mood swing. So my recommendation is at the most, check your analytics once a day at the most. And if you check it once or twice a week, you're going to be even better off. Let the work happen, you know, on its own. You don't have to sit there and watch it over and over, and you will be a much happier person in the long run. So I think every new channel, they go into the analytics rabbit hole and spend a lot of time there before they climb out. Definitely.
I think one of the hardest parts about any business is knowing when things are working. When we start, measurables are lacking, right? I mean,
Oh,
like you
yeah.
said, you can go and you can check all the analytics and all that, but it's not necessarily telling us that we're on a path to success.
Oh, for sure. For sure.
How do you how do you cut that off, or how do you, like, what's your advice to somebody who's like, I don't know if I'm doing the right thing or doing it the right way?
Probably the best advice that I had heard and somebody gave me, and this goes back to tip number one, something that you're passionate about. If you're putting out there helpful information, think about, be as helpful to the user as you can. You will grow. It will work. When people find value in what you're putting out there, when you're answering their questions, when they can tell that you enjoy what you're talking about, you will grow. So many people now try to start channels, what are considered vlogging. They just put the, hey, I'm going into Walmart today and we're going to pick up some, cinnamon rolls, blah, blah, blah. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Those channels that have 10 million subscribers and they are vlogging now, they have built up that fan base over many, many, many years. It did not happen overnight. If you have no platform whatsoever, nobody wants to watch you go to the store and go grocery shopping. That's not how to grow. But so many channels, I bet out of 1,000 new YouTube channels put up today, I bet you 990 of them, that's what they do, because that's what they see and what they enjoy watching. But you've got to get there. So, like, for example, on my channel right now, it is 100% information based, trying to answer anglers' questions. That's all it is. But by doing that, I have got some followers now, some fans now that interact with me every single day. They message me, they watch every single video. And I'm going to start a membership portion of my channel, now a paid membership portion, where those folks that are interested, they can see more behind the scenes stuff, more traditional vlogging, where maybe I'm driving to a location and I'm talking about where we're going, what we're doing, more of my life, because they're starting to be interested in my life and what I do now. But that's not how they started. They found me because I was answering questions they had. So if you focus on user intent, what is the user searching? How can I answer their question? You definitely will get traction for sure.
Now, I know that you use, well, you tell me if this is how it works.
Mm-hmm.
You've had, or you have a Facebook group as well.
Mm-hmm.
And how does that fit into your plan?
Excuse me, I started the Facebook group to go ahead and get some initial traction towards my YouTube channel and my blog. And when I first started off, that definitely did a great job. I did like some giveaways of some fishing tackle, hey, go check out my YouTube channel, subscribe to it. And I would give them some really nice tackle packages from some of my sponsors and stuff like that. And it drove that initial jump start to the YouTube channel. My Facebook group now, I don't do a whole lot with it because Facebook groups are a massive amount of work for very little return in the long run. It's a lot of babysitting. You have people that, you can't control the comments they say, and now you got to go in and manage this. You get two members that have a fight and blah, 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 blah. I mean, it literally is babysitting. So I kind of use the group to get things started, but it's not in my long-term growth plans, if that makes sense.
It does. Would
So
you have done it the same way if you were to start again? Would you use Facebook that way, or would you do something
no,
different?
I probably would not do that again. It was
Yeah.
good for what I did at the time. And it was easy in the sense that I did not have to create content. I just had to get people to join the group. And I was very lucky in my Facebook group. I was literally called Bass Fishing Life. And those were terms that people were searching in Facebook search bar anyway. And my group kept popping up. I mean, it grew super, super, super fast. And like right now it's just shy of 10,000 members, but I have not been actively adding members for several months. I mean, I have 6,000 members waiting in the queue to want to get into the group, but I'm very careful about, I check profiles, and I don't want to just open the floodgates and create all kinds of, it could be a disaster. So I'm very particular on who I let in to the group. So if I was to start it again, I probably would not. But for where I was at the time, it was a good way to jumpstart it. But Facebook groups are a massive amount of moderating and a ton of work, and they're not as easily monetized as people think they are. I know there's some businesses out there that have had great success with it, but a lot of it probably is my target audience, and that probably has something to do with it. But it got to the point where I would post like a video in my Facebook group saying, "Hey, I've got a new one on the channel here," and I get like 0 clicks to it, where within YouTube itself, it may get 400 or 500 views within YouTube itself. Nobody was going over. And there's a lot of people out there that just join Facebook's groups to spam them like crazy, always trying to sell stuff, put their own social media content on there. So it's just a lot of management.
Yeah. So you really have to curate that
Oh yeah,
well.
takes a ton of time.
Yeah. So where you're at now, I know that you're making a paycheck from YouTube,
hmm
Google. How else are you monetizing your content?
So obviously, I am making some money straight on Google AdSense, which is when ads are run before my YouTube videos, I'm getting a percentage of that. So that is one way it's getting monetized. I also have the second way is I have affiliate links to several different merchants down in the description. I've got Amazon and like Bass Pro Shops links down there. And that is starting to pay off. I'm getting enough traffic where viewers are clicking those links and then shopping for other stuff. They buy stuff, and I'm getting a percentage of that. So
So if
Amazon
you
is,
talk about a
yeah.
particular lure
Mm-hmm.
and then you link to that lure
Mm-hmm.
in your copy in the show
Yep.
notes or whatever it is, then people go to that, they click on that, that somehow ticks off whoever is selling that lure that, hey, this came from
Yep.
Steve.
Yep.
So a little bit of money goes into a check for you on the side, and then you get paid for whatever they purchase. That's
That is correct. Yeah. And there are, I don't think content creators realize how many thousands of affiliate programs are out there. I mean, there's a ton of them. So depending on what your particular area of focus is, your niche is, there are affiliate programs that will match up with you very, very well. So for example, each one has different as long as like the cookie lasts, I guess you could say. We've all got these websites, we use cookies, blah blah blah. We've all seen that. For example, like with the Amazon, if somebody purchases just about anything on Amazon within the 24-hour period of clicking on my link, I get money for it. Like I had somebody follow a link to Amazon. They didn't buy any fishing stuff whatsoever. They bought a sewer machine, and I made $11 off of that one person's one purchase. I don't have a sewer machine linked on my content whatsoever, but that is the amazing piece of that is it's just crazy, the potential with the affiliate links, and it all comes as you're getting more and more traffic, more and more income. But like this morning, I made some more money on my affiliate links. I just checked it real quick. Boop. Yep. Somebody else made a purchase. Some more got put in my bank account. So the potential there is huge. And creators that can find affiliate links with recurring income, for example, there are certain applications for web hosting or different things like that. Like if I suggested one that doesn't fit my niche, but let's say somebody else that did suggested one, a person, oh, okay, they check it out and they purchase it, that creator will get a payment every single month from them as long as they're signed up for that account. So there is recurring affiliate income, which is just crazy how much money people are making off of that.
If you had say an episode that goes viral,
Mhm.
and now it's just kind of in the loop every month, and people are clicking that affiliate. I mean, and I don't know, it's all over the place, I'm sure, as to what you could make from an
Oh,
affiliate.
for sure.
But
Yeah.
let's say it's a regular $25 a month for this one episode. You're getting
Mhm.
affiliate money for that.
Mhm.
Well, if you have over the course of 4 years, say you have 10 episodes kind of go viral like that, and you're getting $25 a month from affiliate links per 10 of those episodes, that's a free 250 bucks a month.
That you're doing nothing.
Yeah, and it's just paying off over
Yeah.
time.
And that's the way you have to look at this. Is it's not, the buzzword is passive income. It's not passive income. It's a lot of work on the front side to prepare things and get it ready, but then it's automated income. It just keeps
Mm.
generating over and over. So I make money from the Google AdSense through YouTube, the affiliate links. Like I mentioned earlier, I'm just ready to start putting membership on my YouTube channel for those diehard fans that want more. And you can set your price on that. I'll probably be at $4.99 a month for those members to join. So over time you get 20, 30, 40, 50, 100 members that are paying you $5 a month, to get more of your content. That adds up really, really quickly. Obviously merchandise is a big one. Digital downloads are huge, just absolutely ginormous.
What's a
It's
digital download?
so, for example, it's a little tougher in my niche with the bass fishing, but let's say, for example, somebody's in the photography, videography space, and they could order what's called like a LUT. In other words, it's like something that you overlay over your video to give it a certain look, a certain cinematic look. There are content creators out there that have created LUTs, which are called lookup tables, and you can download those anywhere from like $15 to $30 and then apply them to your videos. And there are content creators out there that are, selling hundreds of these a month at anywhere from $15 to $30 a piece. So they spend the time up front to create the digital product, but then it's just on their website, on their store, and it just keeps generating income. I've seen people do really well with college dorm room decorations, printable things that like neat sayings and stuff that you could hang on your walls in your dorm room. And they're anywhere from, $2 to $3 a download to $10 a download. And this content creator is selling hundreds and hundreds of these a month. So digital downloads is a big one for sure. Definitely. And the beauty of it is you're not shipping a product, it's digital, it's done, it's over with. So for people to make a good income on any of their social channels, you need to think about, with YouTube, I'm trying to get 5 ways to monetize just my YouTube. I'm not just relying on the ads that they're putting on there. I've got all these other ways to help generate income as well. And before you know it, over time, it really starts to add up. And like you said, it's all about that exponential growth over time. Maybe when you start, you made $40 this month, but 12 months from now, it may be $1,400 you made. And I think most creators, if you told them that, are you willing to put in the work now and a year from now be making $1,000 a month on it? Probably about everybody said, yep, I would be willing to do that. So it's been an exciting and fun process to learn. And then my blog like I said, is starting to generate traffic as well. And once I reach a certain threshold on that, I will hire a media company to manage my ads on there. They don't cost me anything, but they take over my page as far as where the ad placements are, and then they take a percentage of it and I get a percentage of it. But I got to meet certain viewer, page sessions a month threshold to be able to apply to those media company services. But you can make, it's not unusual if you've got the right niche to make anywhere from $20 to $25 per thousand page views. So if you've worked hard and you've got a blog that's getting 50,000 page views a month or 100,000 page views a month, that's pretty substantial income.
Yeah, that's very substantial. So
Mm-hmm.
it's, it sounds like a lot of little bits and pieces, but it almost seems like if you set it up well,
Mm-hmm.
if you get your infrastructure and your foundation down, it's pretty easy.
Yeah,
It kind of
once,
takes,
yeah,
I don't want to say easy, but it sounds like it takes care of itself at some point if you do the right things the right way.
yes. Once it is set up, like I said, I spend a lot of hours on each video to
How
get
many hours
everything
would you
set up.
say you
I
average for
would
a
say
video?
probably between the filming and the editing and then putting a careful description and title search and then putting all my affiliate links in there, I'm probably easily hitting 5 hours per video.
Okay.
Yeah. And now I have my standards pretty high as far as how the video that I create, I do a lot of B-roll footage, cutaway footage and stuff. It doesn't have to be that difficult. You can literally be a talking head and do very well on YouTube. And a lot of people are, but just because I have a production background, I want those cool slow motion shots,
Yeah.
and so I add all that stuff to mine. And it's been paying off because I've had multiple viewers say, wow, your videos stand out from the crowd. And that was my intent and goal with that.
And for somebody to take time to actually say that to you, because I've heard from a couple of other social media influencers,
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot to get somebody to click a button. It's
It
a
is a
lot to get
lot.
somebody to click follow. So for somebody to
Yes.
take the time to say, hey, that's really cool,
Yeah.
that's a big deal.
It is a huge deal. It is pretty darn accurate that it takes, for somebody to actually hit the subscribe button on your YouTube channel is roughly 1 to 2% of views. So if you think about that, you get 100 people to watch it, only one is going to hit that subscribe button. So a lot of people get very focused on subscribers, but really what you need to be focused on is views. You get the views, the subscribers will come.
Yeah.
And over the course of the last 14, 15 months, I've been doing this YouTube thing really, really hard and paying attention. It's rough. It rides right in that 1 to 2%. Maybe at the peak of the season in June, I was up to 5% conversion from views to subscribers, but over time, it averages that 1 to 2%.
When did you start the YouTube channel? I mean, when did you really start this process for the YouTube channel?
I had started the channel many, many years ago, like 7, 8 years ago, shortly after YouTube was a thing. And I would do some stuff in the summer and then I wouldn't do anything with it. Now I just, hindsight, right?
Yeah.
So I seriously got going with it in June of 2019. And it took me exactly a year to get monetized, which is a little bit above average. For those who don't know, to get monetized, you have to have 1,000 subscribers. And then you have to have 4,000 hours of public watch time in a 365-day window. And that 365-day window moves every day. So if you have a video that really spikes and does well and gets you, let's say, 100 hours of watch time, on the 366th day, those numbers are gone. So it's harder to get monetized and get your 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 hours of watch time. That first chunk is much more difficult than the next plateau, if that makes sense,
Yeah.
because it is an exponential thing. It's not a straight line growth. It just, once it gets traction, it really takes a sharp curve. But yeah, that it took me right at a year to do that. Now I'm very happy at that accomplishment in a year. Some will go quicker, but then I know people that are on their 4th and 5th year and just hit it.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, do you have to maintain a certain level of watch time? just to stay
For
there?
the watch time, you should. They're pretty gracious. Like if you dip below it a little bit and then are back up, you're going to be okay. They aren't going to turn off your monetization for that. And once you hit your 1,000 subscribers, you're good.
Okay.
Yeah. So if you dip below that for a bit, people unsubscribe and then come back, you're going to be okay. But like I said, it took me that 12 months to get to 4,000 hours. Well, now when I check my analytics after, the 14th month, 15th month, I'm at 8,000 hours. So, I mean, it just, I'm like every day I need to get to 4,000. I need to get 4,000. But now that I hit it, like I said, it just exponentially just skyrocketed after that. I'm about to double my subscriber count in half the amount of time it took me to get that initial 1,000,
Wow.
which is
And what do you give
crazy.
that? Do you think that that's algorithm, and do you think it's word of mouth? It's like friends telling
Um,
friends, or
It's a little bit of word of mouth, but not much. It's just I'm getting enough content out there that I'm getting suggested. Like
okay.
Google and YouTube are kicking my videos out higher and higher up the suggested list. I've got several videos now when you go into Google, like if I went into an incognito window, which doesn't have any of my browser history, so it's a true search, and I type in certain phrases, I'm now getting suggested number one for several topics. I'm the very first thing that pops up. Well, that's, obviously taken time, but the algorithm is starting to suggest some of my content. So it's not all of my content by any means. Maybe I'm getting suggested on 5% of my content, but that 5% is responsible for 99% of my views.
Hmm. So your content, do you just kind of I know people are kind of precious with their information, right? I think that
Hmm.
that's been part of humankind since the
Sure.
beginning,
Yeah.
right? So I've heard people say, you don't want to give stuff away, or you don't want to give it all away. And I've heard other people say, give it all away. Give it all away and people will come back to you. What's your philosophy on that?
I am very gracious in what I give away. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm like, take all the information, here it is. And I've had so much more luck not holding anything back.
Yeah.
It paid off for me 1,000 ways over, even like with traditional video production clients. I just go way above and beyond, and people are like, oh, yeah, we can do this, not a problem. Every one of those clients have come back for additional work. I mean, every one of them. So I'm definitely under the philosophy that let's do it, let's get it done, whatever it takes.
Yeah.
And it's paid off exponentially for me.
Oh, that's awesome. So what's next for you? Like, what's the next step here?
Well, I'm just really still doubling down on content. My goal is hopefully within the next 12 months that all of these incomes between the blog and the YouTube channel are at my pre-pandemic income level. So that is my hope. Some days it feels like you're never going to get there, but I'm seeing the pieces work. I'm seeing the affiliate links work. I'm seeing the viewership work. The Google AdSense money is coming in. So a year from now, when you look back, I'm sitting here now looking forward going, I'm not where I want to be, I'm not where I want to be, but we can play that game forever, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you make 1,000, you want to make 10, you make 10, you make 20. But if I go back and tell me, okay, Steve Rogers, 2019 in September, if you knew that in September of 2020, this would be working, I'd be very excited to get to September of 2020. So that is how I keep looking at it, is it's working, it's working, it's working, and it's at a tiny level, but every day it just keeps, going up and up and up and up and up. So that's the
Yeah.
exciting part. So I'm just keeping doubling down on my content, being consistent. It was another professional bass angler a couple weeks ago, and it was like 50 bazillion degrees out, and I had to put the boat in the water and go film some cover footage, B-roll footage for a video I was shooting. I didn't want to do it. I just want to sit in the air conditioning, eat some dinner. I had made up my mind I wasn't going to do it. Well, I actually picked up my phone and put on Instagram, and his post was the first one that came up. And he's an Australian bass angler that's just had super hard road to get to where he is successful today. And it was a great image, but what he said was persistence is the hard work you do after the hard work you've already done. And I was like, I needed to hear that. So I put my phone down, put the boat in the back of the truck, went in and finished that last piece I needed for that video. I met the bar I want to keep for myself, but it was because of that quote that I got out of my recliner and went out and finished the job. So it's just trying to maintain my level of what I want to produce, knowing in the long run it will pay off.
How many hours a week do you work?
Oh man. Well, a friend of mine was telling me, I think it was a Shark Tank, Lori, was it Grenier or something was on Shark Tank? A quote that she had said that said entrepreneurs are the only people that work 80 hours a week so they don't have to work 40. Right?
Man, did you just read my heart? That is
Yeah.
so the entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I start at 6 a.m., with my coffee, sitting in my chair, writing content for a blog, editing a video, and I just go, 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 all day. The mind's just always cranking on it. So I'm putting in way more than 40 hours a week, but it doesn't seem like work because it's something I enjoy.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
don't get
and
me
that goes
wrong, you're
back to your
tired,
point,
but
right? That goes back to your point about passion and interest. So
mm-hmm,
it's almost like, what would you be doing
mm-hmm,
anyway? And for me, I like to draw and paint all the time. Years ago, I was working at a company. It was the last job I had, and I was talking with the guy there, a young guy about my age, and he said, if you wanna earn more in this business, you're gonna have to put the pencil down. You're gonna have to become a manager. And I said, no, I'm not gonna do that. And because the pencil, it was what I loved, and it was what it made me, I mean, we can get into all kinds of things. Art isn't my identity, but it made me special. It made
mm-hmm.
me special what I could do with
Right.
that particular gift. And so uh, I work it all the time, and I love it. And so if I'm sitting down, I'm drawing anyway, probably. So you might as well be doing something that you enjoy, and then you can actually make money with it. So
Right.
your point.
Absolutely. And on all of my content, my videos, my blogs, at the end of every video, and this is kind of a cool story, at the end of every single video, I told myself when I was starting this content is to make a difference in somebody's life. The money is secondary. We want to be able to make money to live, obviously. But if I'm not impacting others, I might as well not even be doing this. So at the end of every video, I close it with, hey, and don't forget to go out and encourage someone today. You never know how you might just change their life. And then I put that at the end of every blog I write too. Well, at an event we were at a farmer's market selling our Bass Fishing Life coffee last week, I had a father and a son come up to me specifically to our booth, and he said, we were watching your videos and thank you so much for closing your videos like that. That made a huge difference.
Hmm.
So that is my real purpose in this stuff. And if I keep making content with that, my focus and purpose, the monetization will come. The growth will come. That stuff will come. But I've got to be doing it for the right reasons. I'm not doing it for me. I'm doing it to encourage others. And really, a lot of that came from when I was teaching for 10 years. I had no idea how challenging so many of our youth have it in their life. It's just so sad, some of the things that these children come from. And when I was teaching, I really learned the impact of our words. 2 or 3 words that I could say to a child could send them on cloud nine for the rest of the week or destroy their day. And it might be completely inadvertent on my part, but it would ruin their day. So it was when I was an educator, I really learned how important words are and what a difference that can make. in not just a child's life, obviously everybody's life, but I noticed it since I was working with kids, and they're more likely to wear their emotions on their sleeve anyway. Um, but it was because of my time in the classroom that I've transferred it over into the content that I do now. And that is the purpose of every video and every blog I write, is for somebody to watch it and be elevated. And it just happens to be, for me, it's in the bass fishing niche, but it wouldn't matter what your focus is, but that's what my true purpose is.
Hmm. That's unusual.
It's
And
very easy to, like, if I would have done this 20 years ago, it would have been all about me.
yeah,
But I was a lot younger then, and I would have looked at it as like celebrity stuff. I was sending autograph photos to people all over the country of me holding fish when I was on television. It was about me 20 years ago. That's not the way to do it.
yeah,
I make it about the others, and the good stuff, as far as, the income you make and this type of stuff. That's coming along. But it helps me to get out of bed in the morning knowing that I'm trying to impact somebody in a positive way. And that's really the driving force. If my driving force was just money, I probably would have lost my mind a long time ago.
So, as we wrap up, what advice would you have for the artist entrepreneur who wants to start building a passive income business, and primarily doing it like you do, doing it on YouTube?
Hmm. One, I would definitely say stick to what you're passionate about, because you need ideas for content. And you're naturally already an expert at something. You may not think you are, but you are. Everybody is very knowledgeable at something. So make sure that whatever the content you choose is not because you think it's going to be an easy way to make money, but it's because something you can help others out with and make their life better, enrich their lives. And then you've got something that will last for the long haul. You will see the fruits of your labor over that long haul. If you just try to focus on something to make money, you're going to get burned out, because one, maybe you don't know as much in that particular area, or it might be highly competitive. I mean, if you type in how to make money online, how many videos showed up? 30 million? I mean, so do something that you're passionate about, and it will have the staying power over the long haul.
Hmm, that's great advice. I've known you for a long time, and I feel like I've really gotten to know you a lot better just over the last year or two. And I'm honored to call you a friend,
Well, thank you. Same
and
here.
I'm really I am impressed by your character, and because it's consistent. The consistency I see is not just in the work, but in the desire to uplift people every day as you do the work you do. So thanks for being that guy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. And yeah, and it's just in this day and era when social media can tear people down and drag people through the mud and throw names, and
Yeah,
we all know how divisive social media can be. My hope is that to make somebody's day better, because we're all getting beat up all the time. And it's hard. I mean, it's hard. But that is my hope. And I, like I said, that father and son coming up to me last Saturday and saying, "Boy, thank you for doing that." That's that real. I can ride on that, positive message for a long time,
yeah,
and that drives your motor to keep creating and keep creating. So that's my hope. And and some days it's not easy, as you well know,
yeah,
but it definitely is the goal.
yeah. Well, that's very clear with you. Dude, thanks so much. Thanks for
Well,
sharing all
thank
that
you.
info. Where can people find you?
People can find me on YouTube if you happen to enjoy bass fishing. It's just literally Steve Rogers Outdoors. You type it in there, you're going to get some videos on Captain America too. I'm blessed with
I was
that
going to say,
same
we got through
name.
the episode with almost out mentioning Captain America.
Yeah. So you're going to have, unfortunately, I always tell people I'm the Captain America before version. Not after the transformation. I wish, but whatever. So yeah, just Steve Rogers Outdoors on YouTube, and I'll pop right up. And then whether it's Facebook or just .com, thebassfishinglife.com, and all my information will pop up as well.
Excellent. Thanks, buddy.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's been a blast.
Hey, Steve, thanks again for sharing everything that you shared and for just being such a good guy. Really, really appreciate it. My takeaways from this interview are persistence and a system can help you build something that will pay off in the long term. Steve's persistence in creating content and posting it regularly, even when he didn't feel like it, and decided that he was going to do it anyway because he was encouraged by somebody else or realized that discipline is what he needed to cling to so that he could build his business. It's just some amazing stuff right there. Monetizing his YouTube channel by getting to over 1,000 subscribers, and he's at 1,680 right now. That's just awesome. And then to add in affiliate marketing and then other product that he's selling, it's just really, really smart. He's diversified, and it is, again, paying off. So the last thing that I took from this episode is, man, I just love how encouraging Steve is. I mean, the guy that you saw being interviewed there, I've known Steve for quite a while. We've gotten closer over the last year or two. That's Steve. Like, that is just who he is. He's a good guy. He's a caring guy. And he really wants to encourage people while he's going out about the business of his business. And that's our show for this week. Thanks for watching. And I'm assuming if you've gotten this far that you're finding the content beneficial, that it's really helping you. So I want to ask you if you'll do a few things. One, would you please share this with an artist in your life? Somebody that you know the content is going to be really, really helpful to. Two, would you please go to my YouTube channel, to The Breakthrough Creative, and would you give us a subscription? Just hit that subscribe button, because I'd really like to grow my audience as well. And then three, if you're listening to us on a podcast platform and you're able, subscribe to us, and then please give us a 5-star rating, or the highest rating that you know they allow, and then write us a review. I'd love to hear what you think of the show. All right. And then if you want to reach me, you can reach me at john@thebreakthroughcreative.com. I'd, again, love to hear what you think. I'd love to answer your questions. And I'd also like to see if you have any guests in mind that you would really like to hear from, or a particular topic. So with that being said, I'm John McDavitt. I'm your host, The Breakthrough Creative, where we talk about the business of art and the art of business. Have a great week working on something creative that is going to help you earn your living. Until next time, take care.